Ladies and gentlemen, we are starting the interview in the strangest way. Anthony, would you like to play the name game?
Sure.
Well, I've heard that you're a huge, massive San Francisco Giants fan.
Massive, huge.
And although I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, I really enjoyed Barry Bonds. He's my GOAT. The first purchase I ever made at the Scholastic Book Fair was a Barry Bonds poster. I still have it to this day. Okay. So the Giants were my West Coast team. So we're going to play the name game.
All right.
I'm going to name a Giant. You're going to name a Giant. My hope is that the 30 minutes that we have are just names, and then I mention double or nothing.
Okay.
But do you want me to kick it off?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. I guess someone who's... I don't even know if he's on the roster yet or anymore. We'll start with Brandon Belt.
Okay, Buster Posey.
Moises Alou.
Oh, you're going back already.
You can do, like, any era.
All right, I'll start with the old era before the new ones, because the new ones would be easy. Would you say Moises Alou?
I said Moises Alou.
That was 04, so Edgardo Alfonso.
Guillermo Mota.
Omar Vizquel.
You did it because I appreciate that.
There you go.
Let me stick with relievers. LaTroy Hawkins.
JT Snow.
Logan Webb.
Rich Aurelia.
Jeff Kent.
David Bell.
Buster Posey.
Benito Santiago.
Hunter Pence.
Jason Schmidt.
Kenny Lofton.
Levon Hernandez.
Wow. Ryan Vogelsong.
Kirk Reeder.
Matt Cain.
Marquise Grissom.
Ray Durham.
Jose Cruz Jr.
Do you have me stumbled because my notes that I took that I was cheating I don't have out right now, honestly?
I'll go for the next 2 hours.
Hold on. Who'd you just say?
Is it Jose Cruz Jr. and I just said?
Yes. Benji Molina.
Ooh, okay. AJ Pierzynski.
People don't remember that. Brian Wilson.
Dustin Moore.
Dustin Moore.
Former Twin.
Yes. I think I. Barry Zito.
Ooh, okay. Jonathan Sanchez.
Tim Hudson.
Did I say Tim Lincecum?
Excuse me. No. Who's the dude from the other guy from the A's with Hudson? Why am I forgetting his name? Starting pitcher. He was in Moneyball. He was like an ace. He was an ace when he was with the Giants.
Barry
it is
Zito?
Tim Hudson. No.
Tim Hudson. Yeah, it's Tim Hudson.
He played on the Giants.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, that's my pick.
Randy Johnson.
Like Randy Johnson played on the Giants?
Yeah.
When?
This was 2007, 2008, something. He won his 300th game with them.
That's true. So this is like right before he retired.
Right before he retired, yeah.
We'll go with Madison Bumgarner.
Okay. Did anybody say Matt Cain?
I said Matt Cain.
You said Matt Cain. Okay. So let's go back and let's do Ellis Burks.
Great, underrated dude. I'll go with Juan Uribe.
Juan Uribe.
That home run he hit in the NLCS versus the Phillies.
I'll never forget where I was. I was at a Chevy's.
I was listening to it on the radio and I almost made my dad crash. Because I freaked out because I was like, Juan Uribe just hit a very important home run. Anyway.
Opposite field. Marvin Bernard.
That's fantastic. Bro, I don't have my... I wanted to cheat and win, and cheating never works.
I think even if you decide to cheat, I'd still beat you.
No, I believe so. Oh my god, Sergio Romo.
Royce Clayton.
Royce Clayton Jr. Oh, Jesus Christ. Cody Ross, excuse me.
I was at that game. He hit the 2 home runs off of Roy Halladay. Let's go back and do Will Clark.
That's a legend. And I already said Buster Posey. Fine, Willie Mays, whatever.
Matt Williams.
Oh, man, Barry. I've lost. I just said Barry. I lost. Go ahead, finish it off.
Dusty Baker.
There it is. Felipe Alou. Because he was a manager.
Oh, you want to keep going?
I guess.
Lance Negro.
And that's how you... Ryan Garco.
Did I say Todd Linden?
You did not.
Todd Linden.
All right, listen, I'm running on fumes. You won. You won. You beat my ass. And that's the trailer for the interview. That's his name is John. That is the name game, and that's the trailer to check this out on Twitter. Thank you. Now we'll officially start this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening to us on the radio, You are listening to this on a Monday. You are listening to this on the last day of school, which means summer is here. If summer is here in Las Vegas, that means AEW is here, because what kicks off the summer here in Vegas always is Double or Nothing. This Sunday, MGM Grand Garden Arena. Plus, Saturday night, you get AEW Collision. A weekend of wrestling to kick off the summer Memorial Day. And joining us is the Scissor King himself, Anthony Bowens. Anthony, how are you?
I'm great. I'm in Vegas, and I'm going to be back in Vegas, like you said, next weekend. MGM Garden Casino. I mean, 2 nights of AEW, 2 nights of All Elite Wrestling. You got Collision live on TNT Saturday night. We go live around the world on pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, which we have a residency kind of here in Las Vegas since 2019. So, like you said, you expect everything to kick off this summer. We kick it off at Double or Nothing.
Yes, the 5th year anniversary and the return of where it literally all started here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, and I can't wait. And we're going to talk a little bit of wrestling, of course, here in a little bit. But for those that saw on social media, we played the name game with the San Francisco Giants, because obviously you played collegiate baseball. You love baseball. You're a big San Francisco Giants fan. Awkwardly, The Bet, our sports station here in this building, used to be the home of the Dodgers here in Las Vegas. I said used to. No longer, okay? But not only do you love baseball, but you got to work at MLB Network.
Yes.
So that's amazing. So I'm going to start here. First off, what's your relationship with Harold Reynolds?
Harold would buy myself and a few others Chinese food every Friday night if we had a shift. He was very cool. And also gave us a free copy of MLB The Show. So thank you, Harold.
He was in The Voice. He just passed them out like nothing.
I swear he literally walked there. He was like, here you go. You get one of these, and then left a whole stack of them for the rest of the employees. He's a good dude. A lot of the guys who work there are good people. I got to get back Pedro Martinez, because he would rip me in the hallways. I'd walk around, I'd go to the bathroom or something, and down the hallway I'd hear Flaco, which means skinny. Because I was pretty, I'm still pretty muscular, but I had a little bit more weight on me back then, so he would bust my chops a bit with that. So I don't think I've seen him since, so now I got to go back and beat him up.
Of course. For your boy Zimmer, I forgot his name, that got beat up by Pedro.
Don Zimmer.
Yeah, Don Zimmer. I do have to ask you a question. So I'm assuming you were a production assistant at MLB Network?
I was a logger, and sometimes I do light editing. I was trying to become an editor, but I don't think
But you wasn't getting paid big bucks.
Oh, no.
Well, so now the reason I ask is because, getting to the radio station, like for a lot of people, your entryway is being a part of the street team, doing all the promo events, going to gas stations, setting up tents, giving out tickets and stuff. And when you're at a sports station, typically you'll get whatever sports game's coming out to like be a prize. So the new Madden, the new MLB The Show, whatever. I'll say this now because I don't even work there. The street team, we were struggling in this economy. So what we did is we learned that if we took the copy of the game, especially since it was sealed and had like the plastic wrap, we'd take it to Target, and then Target would give you actual money back instead of like a store credit. But either or worked. No shenanigans from you like that?
No, well, I didn't do that at MLB. I did that I also worked for ESPN New York.
Oh, okay.
I was a production assistant on the Michael K. Show, Rucco, and Stephen A. Smith. I would do all that kind of stuff for them. And then I was also on the street team. I don't remember doing any of those kinds of shenanigans, but I do remember there being a closet of just stuff that they kept with like 30 different padlocks. They had so much memorabilia in there, and I would always try and peek in to try and see what they were hiding in there, because I guess it was some high level stuff. But I never got to get in there.
I'll also just admit this now. I also I was in Phoenix, so at the start of the season, instead of us we basically get season tickets, and these were the tickets that we'd give out on the radio throughout the season, and the Phoenix Suns at the time were terrible. So like one of the few games that a lot of people would go to would be the Warriors to see Steph Curry and everything. So I took basically 80% of those Warriors tickets and then sold them to the the guys selling tickets on the street. he got me a crazy. Hey, he gave me like $500. And keep in mind, those were nosebleeds. I'll never forget the week that game came up, and our bosses were freaking out.
It's all right. You're hustling. It's all right.
I sound like a terrible person, and we've never met. I've just admitted some things, but honestly, I feel better.
I mean, I took a couple extra T-shirts from ESPN that were laying around. If that's my vice at the office, was stealing T-shirts.
What a dick! What a dick! Yo, Brian Kenny, by the way, how was he?
I didn't really interact much with Brian.
He seems too serious. I know he's a boxing dude, and like he knows all the stats. Like I always feel like he's reading the stats to know, because like that's his angle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So fair enough. I want to ask you. You got to be a part of Fenty and the Pride collection, and that was amazing. And congratulations to be a part of that.
Thank you.
My question though is in terms of like,
did I meet Rihanna?
Not. I'm assuming I know that you didn't meet Rihanna. But she's always here in Vegas, strangely enough. Or I guess not strangely enough, because everyone is. But did you get a gift basket? Are you now like an employee discount?
No. I got the outfits that I wore. I have them in my closet, and that was about it.
So but did you ask for more? Or do you want more?
I mean, I could ask for... I'm not a greedy guy. I don't really like to ask for favors or anything. I was just happy enough to be in that campaign and have my face splattered everywhere, which was really cool. I never... I've done a couple things. I've done commercials and stuff, but that one to be like the face of a like a clothing line and see myself in stores and stuff, and like that was really cool.
Yeah, so
I was
like you see the section of Fenty and it's like,
it's
you.
me. Yeah, like that was really cool. That's all I needed. I don't need a discount.
Yo, that's incredible. Also, maybe 2 minutes personal information I'm about to tell you. I am wearing my Fenty boxer briefs that I got from Fat Kid Deals as my boss walks in and shakes his head. Fat Kids Deals for like $7. Very smooth, very nice. And I did that in honor of you. So thank you for helping me be comfortable today.
Well, you know what? I might have to call them up now because of, clearly my influence over you made you purchase those boxers, which means I should be or have a bigger role in Fenty coming up, right?
And they didn't have a pink colorway on the briefs. It was just like red, black, and blue.
All right,
so
we'll get on that. I'll call up Ree. We'll get some pink Fenty boxers coming, courtesy of the Scissor King.
There it is. Thank you very much, good sir. Recently on Twitter, Mariah May kind of wanted to help you out. Some would say shot her shot. After you were just expressing your love for Blockbuster, rest in peace, and she wanted you to Netflix and chill. And look, you're a gorgeous man. I'm assuming that a lot of people try to shoot their shot at you. So that experience you had on Twitter with Mariah, how much does that happen in real life in public?
I like to say I'm the perfect wingman, because usually when I'm out with my straight friends, most women don't know that I'm openly gay. So they hit on me, and then I kind of, it's almost like my revenge for them not giving me the attention in high school. I let it go as far as I can and go, I'm sorry, I gotta cut you off there. But my boy over there, he's single. I would love for you to meet him. And that's how it usually works. So I go, you know what, if you're having struggling to pick up the spit game or whatever, bring me with you and I'll make sure you have a good night.
The Scissor King is a man of the people. So he essentially makes sure, he gets the woman to like rev her engines and then passes the ball. It's very respectable.
Yeah, it's in a very respectable way, of course. There's nothing sketchy going on. There's no crazy shenanigans. I want everybody to have a good time.
And that tweet was about Blockbuster, and this may be the most serious question of this interview.
Sure.
If you could bring back one thing, Blockbuster or the old school Pizza Hut buffet, what are you going with? Although you're too healthy. When I wrote this question down, I was like, this is stupid, because he's like...
Well, to be fair, I love a good Pizza Hut personal pan. I do remember the buffet.
Better than the actual...
Yeah.
They're delicious.
But I would love Blockbuster back. There's nothing like that joy, at least as when I was a kid, of going in there and trying to figure out what game I wanted to rent or what movie I wanted to rent, or seeing the old wrestling tapes and seeing which ones they had. I miss that so much. Obviously, it's much more convenient with the streaming and on-demand stuff, but going in there and looking at all the covers and the titles and getting angry when they're sold out of things.
Well, the wrestling tapes, where they used to put them, was very eye-opening to me. Because they're usually with the other ones that were the only ones that had the black.
Yes.
It's something that if you know, you know. And all right,
the
fair
little area
enough.
with the curtain.
Yeah. Whoa. You can't say that here. Because there's like 40 of them. In Las Vegas, there's like 40 of them. Let's get to the wrestling then, and with AEW. And I said to start the interview how Double or Nothing kicks off the summer, but to me it's so cool because it's like a hallmark, a point of like, oh, this is another year for AEW, and this year specifically, 5 years, that's a benchmark, that's a landmark, and the fact that it's returning to MGM Grand Garden Arena. So with nostalgia and all of that, it shocks me, and is this correct, you and Max, your first match together was on AEW TV, correct?
Correct.
That's crazy. And then afterwards, the contract got offered?
Yes. So what happened was I was in an interesting, unique position where I was choosing between the two companies. Caster was somewhat in that same scenario. And Tony found out, brought me down there, and I happened to get into an elevator, and there was Max Caster, who he trained at Creative Pro Wrestling in Long Island. I was in Creative Pro New Jersey. I think we wrestled each other once or twice. We were aware of each other. Wouldn't really call ourselves friends. We just knew each other in passing. And I go, oh, what are you doing here? And he goes, I'm here to see Tony. And I go, oh, well, I'm here to see Tony. Not knowing we were both there to see Tony together. And then eventually we got filled in that he wanted to meet with the both of us. We met with Tony. And he was like, hey, I have this idea for you both to be the Acclaimed. We're like, what is that? And he's like, I don't know. I just know that Max raps and, I'm, a good wrestler. Let's see what you got. We went out, we wrestled Best Friends, came back. I happened to see him give someone the thumbs up. And the next thing you know, we had contracts in front of us. And I was like, yep, that's where I want to be.
So with that, like, there's two parts that's interesting to me. I guess I've never been in that position, but I know that there's others where they're basically essentially trying out for the radio. So they'll come in the weekend and they'll do a weekend shift. Was there more pressure? Did you feel any pressure going into that match? Did it feel like that match was like make or break in terms of if you wanted to go to AEW? Or was it, no, I'm just testing this out. I want to see what this is like in comparison to your other options?
Well, in truth, I had accepted an offer from the other place. They never sent the contract. I always wanted to be here. I just didn't know if there was interest. I never heard back after my first dark match that I had. I tagged with Lee Johnson. And but my heart was always, I wanted to be at AEW because I saw what kind of vibe they had when the company first started. Like, this is cool. This is different. They're breaking barriers. They're giving opportunities to young up-and-coming pro wrestlers to be superstars. Like, I want to be here. And then especially when I was, my first time I was at Dark and I saw people like Sonny Kiss and Nyla Rose walking around being themselves and not feeling judged and feeling comfortable. And the way they present their LGBTQ talent made me feel even more comfortable that I wanted to be here. So when I heard that Tony was like interested in talking to me, and I'm like, all right, well, I still haven't signed anything, so why not? So that was the pressure. It was, I hope Tony likes me, because if he doesn't, then I might have burned bridges everywhere. But
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
You're like, well, if he doesn't give me the paper, well, now I get.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So like you just said,
and then we delivered. We delivered. We had a great match, and next thing you know, we were the Acclaimed, and Max and I were trying to figure out what the hell that was and what our presentation was, and move sets and catchphrases and hand gestures and. We went from that, and I think 10 matches in, we were main eventing Dynamite with the Young Bucks for the tag team titles. I'm like, what's happening?
This is it's a beautiful story. And just out of curiosity too, like you said, you guys had known of each other. You guys had shared locker rooms, being on events and stuff. But you said it, you guys weren't friends. What was the conversation leading up to, okay, we're teaming together? I guess that's why we're both here. Like, even before, you just talked about, well, what's our presentation and stuff going to be for the long term? But just in that moment going into that match, what were those conversations like?
Let's make it through this, that first one.
It was like, let's get through this.
Yes, let's just show them that we're really good professional wrestlers and that we're charismatic. And then after that, once we had the contracts, it was, okay, well, what do we need to do here? The owner obviously believes in us. He had a vision for us. One, we want to make him proud. And two, we got to figure out, how do we get ourselves over? How do we get ourselves on television every single week? How do we develop as performers? And every day we would talk, we would call each other, talk. For first, it was getting to know each other as people, because this is a person I'm going to be spending the next however many so years of my career with. I need to know who he is as a person, what makes him tick, what how I tick. So we spent a lot of time getting to know each other and then figuring out what our philosophies were on pro wrestling and just kind of using those things as jumping points to figure out what we want to do in the ring and how we want to present ourselves.
And I think it's cool, again, with this being the 5-year anniversary, the aspect when you look at you guys, and there's other people, MJF, that I guess, like for someone like me, I would consider you guys, the term I guess that's used as homegrown talent. How much pride do you have that you guys kind of came in here and you, 10 matches in, you guys are facing the Young Bucks. Look at all the things you guys have accomplished. Like, how does that feel? There's pride in that, I'm assuming, right?
Oh yeah, so much. Max and I like to, hope that people use us as a template for like new incoming people into the company who are young and upcoming stars, as examples of like what to do, of how to make things work. Because a lot of times you come right from the independents and you're thrown right into the deep end, and you're on television and you don't know what you think you know what you're doing, but you don't until you get out there, and then you're just kind of, it's a sink or swim scenario. Like we don't have a spot where what do you call it, like a performance center to train 5 days a week to figure out everything before we get presented on TV. You got to do it live on TV in front of people, which is tough.
And on TV, which is like a whole different ballgame.
That's also a cool thing, because with us, you can see our development from start to finish. If you go back on YouTube and you look at the darks, you can see our very first match all the way up till now. Like if you're a fan, which is pretty cool, you can see the whole thing. You don't get that experience a lot because, again, a lot of it is hidden in a warehouse, and you just see a finished product of what you were doing there. Here it's like, oh, I saw him from day one. I saw him from this point. And
you're seeing the baby steps.
You're on the journey with, like, people are on the journey with the Acclaimed, which I think is another cool way or reason why people connect with us.
I know that you've talked about how you will never, ever, ever, ever see the first entrance because of how awkward.
I will never watch it.
Was that situation, just in general, not just the entrance, without the music, just the bars, but not outside of the entrance, just that match and that situation, was it the most, and I don't mean this in a negative way when I say awkward, but was it like the most awkward situation you've been in?
Honestly, yes, because, again, we didn't know what the Acclaimed was. We knew Castor was the rapper. And then I was like, all right, well, there's got to be a hype man, but I can't dance. I don't have rhythm. I'm not much into like I'll listen to hip hop, but I'm not like a huge, overly huge fan. So I had a lot of learning to do. So I had to figure out what my role was, and the only advice I was given was whatever Max says. It's the most ridiculously cool thing you've ever heard. So I leaned into, hey, people like memes and people like using those reaction photos to different stuff on the internet. So whatever Max says, I'm going to plant myself in front of the camera and make the most ridiculous faces that people can screenshot. But that first entrance, we hadn't thought of anything yet. So I went out as my indie 5-tool player look, and he's doing a rap with no music, a cappella to... You
guys have talked about how you didn't match.
Gear didn't match. There was nobody in the audience because it was during the pandemic. There was like just a couple of like the indie wrestlers ringside, like making noise, probably laughing at us. And it was just it's making me cringe think about it, but I'll never watch it again.
But to your point, like you said a few minutes ago, like there's a beauty in the fact that all exists, and that's all a part of your guys' story.
Yeah.
And to see that culminate into what it is now, like the one thing one of my favorite things is there's this photo in the Twitter account, and I was trying to search it and I couldn't find it, and I know Max has retweeted it, and I'm sure you have too. It's a photo, I don't know if it's in like New York, but it's a crowded street, and if you're watching the video, we'll put it up and I'll find it by then, but it's a crowded street, everyone's walking, and then there's like this older dude with the Scissor Me Daddy t-shirt.
Yes.
Like, when you see that, how does that make you feel?
It's proud.
Yes.
Max and I thrive on weird things and weird scenarios, and if we can, have people feel that comfortable with themselves to go out and rock that shirt and, scissor other people and yell "Scissor Me Daddy ass" and in public and whatever.
My fiance hates it, but it's cool.
I find that to
me and my 5-year-old son, and I'm like, he's doing it. That's What do you mean? He's learning.
It's a hit with 99% of the people. The 1% is a select group of moms that are not happy with their...
You can't please everybody.
That's true.
You really can't. One thing I'm intrigued with is when it comes to the term heat, what did you guys get more heat from? Was it initially some of Max's raps, or was it the scissoring?
No, everyone hated us when we first came in. And that's why when I came up with the everyone loves the Acclaimed, I'm like, what would two bad guys, delirious bad guys, think what's happening? Because anytime we would perform, at least because we didn't, again, there was no audience, so we had no idea what the live feedback was. We just had Twitter to go off of, which is never a good idea.
Facts.
And Twitter hated us. They're like, who are these two guys? We don't know who they are. Why are they wrestling the Young Bucks? These guys stink. Who are... It was just over, and it was bad. I had to like mute a lot of my notifications because it was just some pretty vile stuff. But it birthed everyone loved the Acclaim out of it, which is one of our biggest catchphrases. And that was like that for a while until we got back to live audiences, and we did that first show in Jacksonville, and the crowd erupted, and Max and I were like, oh, I think we're baby faces this whole time. Meanwhile, we thought people were hating on us. But once we got back to live crowds and people were really on board with us, it was just a matter of trying to figure out how to take that to the next level.
Do you think, and obviously Max is very opinionated, not only in the raps, but his Twitter account and in what he says, and he speaks for himself. He doesn't necessarily speak for you or Billy. But he did bring up a point that I had never thought of, is that like maybe there is some trepidation for people to face you guys because they don't want to get their ass roasted or maybe feel embarrassed because Mac's going to say something, you're going to say something, everyone's going to freak out. And how has it been treading those waters these past couple months with new talent, so there's new people to face, but maybe they don't necessarily want to, or is that a thing, I guess?
I don't know, maybe, but that's, to be honest, I'm a nice guy, but that's not really our problem. That's what we do.
Yeah.
That's the Acclaim's MOs. We go out, we shred people, whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, then you're going to have to take it up with us in the ring. And, we're out there to fight you. We're not out there to be friends and, hug and dance and stuff. Although, we have fun. We dance and Garcia and stuff like that. Shout out to DG. But we're there to entertain people. We're there to win matches. We're there to win championships. We're not there to cuddle you.
And that's kind of the philosophy too, with like some people will be like, well, why are you bringing up all these other places? You're giving attention to them. And it's like, no, we're doing our job. We're not here to
For us, for the Acclaimed, we don't exist in a bubble. If it's, no matter what the topic is, it's real life, we're going to Max is going to touch on it. And that's the way we've always operated. And, you can go into the argument as much as that's a whole different topic, a whole different conversation. But we've always felt if it's news, if it's out there, and it's not going to harm us in any way, legalities and stuff like that, everything is on the table.
Before we wrap this up, I know we have a few more minutes left. A very, very, very serious question. Anthony, will you ever rap?
Max and I have said if a show lands on April Fool's Day that we would trade spots. And I've been mortified of that. I don't think it happens until like 2027 or something like that.
You asked Google.
I got really nervous.
Like,
I was
hold on.
I hope it's not next year. But if that day comes around, I will force myself to do it. I am an entertainer, and I am confident in myself. I can figure out something that would be fun. I am more interested to see Max yell the town and scream all of my my catchphrases because I almost lose my voice every night doing it. So I want to see if he can really dig down deep and belt it out.
I'm hoping for a Freaky Friday Rampage edition, a little Freaky Friday, and then we'd have to switch sides. Or if you don't rap, and
or
you like
we can
sing,
give the
or you and
microphone.
MJF both come out and sing and do a duet.
I can sing a little bit. I'm not gonna sing now.
Speaking it into existence. No. We're not gonna make you do that. I guess we'll leave with this with the final question. And again, thank you so much for the time. Reminder, AEW Invading Vegas kicking off the summer Memorial Day weekend, AEW Collision, and AEW Double or Nothing, May 25th, May 26th. Get your tickets. There's still a few left, AEWTix.com, or catch it on pay-per-view. Go to the movies, wherever you got to go to check it out. 5 years of AEW, a lot of history, a lot of moments that you guys have made. If I have to put you on the spot to pick one, what would it be?
There's a lot. Obviously, winning the tag team titles for the first time in New York City was absolutely incredible. But I think in terms of just a grand scale of things, it would be Wembley Stadium last year, over 80,000 people. The biggest scissor party on earth. We won the trios titles with Billy Gunn, absolute legend, mentor, father figure, actual father. He adopted us, remember. And then to grab the microphone afterwards and tell Wembley to throw their scissors up. And I look around and take that moment to see all of those people having their fingers in the air. The foam fingers, the custom scissors that these people brought, to go from being in Daly's place in front of 0 people and all the hate that I just told you about, to fast forward just 2 or 3 years, and we're in that spot as champions, biggest wrestling show, largest wrestling show ever, and everybody is wearing pink with the scissors. Insane.
Foam scissors that are available.
Yes, shopaew.com.
There it is. I have to ask you, will you scissor me, Anthony?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, let me get over there to close this out properly.
Get a close up on camera.
And by the way, next time we're bringing you to the fancy studio and talking at length, because we didn't even scratch the surface. But regardless, thank you for the time.
Absolutely.
All right,
ready?
Hold on. Let me go over
warm
here.
Warm them up.
Because this is also
strain a finger.
This also has to be the YouTube thumbnail for us. It has to be. All right.
Ready?
What an honor. I'm left-handed. I'm going lefty. Is that okay?
That's fine. Toss them up. Go like this first. You got to warm them up. You don't want to strain anything.
Hold on.
Here we go. Rear back and
incredible.
AEW All Elite Wrestling coming to Vegas next Saturday, Sunday, May 25th, 26, MGM Garden Casino Arena. AEW Collision live on TNT Saturday night. AEW Double or Nothing live on pay-per-view Sunday night. AEWTix.com. You said it so earlier. Get your tickets now. Let's have some fun. Let's scissor. Come on out and have some fun with the Acclaimed.
The Acclaimed is here. Put Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame.
Put him in the Hall of Fame now, or I'll find you. Who's it, Manfred?
Yeah, Rob. That guy. We're trying to get a team here. Hold on, we gotta be nice. Anyway, bye.